John Bacon is back with us on the other end of our AT&T line, the author of Fourth and Long, The Fight for the Soul of College Football. And he seems to feel that Michigan football's greed has alienated fans, and there should be a lesson to all colleges. Thanks for being available.
My pleasure, Michael, as always.
Now, I know you're in the fabric of Wolverine country there and have been for a long, long time. Does it sadden you to write a story like this?
No question. That's a very good question, one I don't get very often. I take no pleasure in this, obviously, and I didn't tell you flat out. I would much rather be wrong than right. And 13 months ago, as I noted in the article, I predicted what was going to happen with the students, with the new general admission seating policy, and then, of course, it did happen. And there's no gloating here. It's like, man, the thing I've loved my entire life and grew up loving, since I grew up in Ann Arbor in the 70s, is in danger, basically. And I fear for the future of it because, as you guys know, fandom tends to be generational. You know, the father passes it down to his son, passes it down to his son. If you lose a generation in there, this group of students, they'll not be passing it down to their kids. So that could be a problem down the road. So I'd rather be wrong, and there's no pleasure in writing a story like this.
You laughed when I said that I watched the second half at Buffalo Wild Wings, and David Brandon says the 60-inch high-def TV is his biggest competition. Do you not agree?
I agree with him completely on that, and some people misconstrued that point. You did not, but no, he's dead right that of course it is. So if it is your competition, act like it. All right? Don't raise the prices, lower them. Don't give us ads in the stadium. Give us no ads in the stadium because the guy at home has ads. Don't blare rock music, endlessly because I can get that somewhere else too. And as a friend of mine said, that when you're at home and you're watching the game during the commercial breaks, you don't blare rock me like a hurricane during the break. Who does this? Yeah, there's a place for rock music, and I know the kids especially like some of that for sure, but it's been overdone. And lower the prices. Don't make you wait in line for the bathroom to take my seat to get a hot dog, and the food is quite poor and quite expensive. My food at home is better and cheaper. So if you're in competition, start competing. That's my point.
But he's getting all these accolades, David Brandon, as a genius, and that he's raising all kinds of money, and he's making the experience that much better. You say it's worse.
I think it's worse, and the response to the article has been overwhelming.
Yeah.
On Yahoo Sports alone, where this thing currently is, actually it's on Yahoo.com's front page, they've got over 15 or 16,000 Facebook shares on it, which then gets shared again and so on. So apparently it's not universal, and the only real measure that matters right now are ticket sales. And we know that the students, as you know from the article, they've been dropping from 21,000 in 2012 season ticket holders to about 13 to 14,000 now is what the administration is telling us. So that is an admitted drop of 40% of students in 2 years. No doubt, student apathy is a problem nationwide, and the article mentions that, Alabama even, Michigan State, of course. But 40% dropping tickets in 2 years, that is, cataclysmic at this point. What we don't know, what the department is not telling us, is how season ticket sales are going overall for all fans. We can only conclude they're pretty bad because everyone I know who's ever been to a game, even if they're a Spartan, a Nittany Lion, or a Buckeye, are getting pounded with emails saying, please buy tickets. Even Penn State, the only real good game on the calendar this year, at home for Michigan, even that game is available on single ticket sales. So not one game right now, we can conclude, has been sold out. And that is what ultimately matters. And if that place is not full in the fall, that'll be your answer.
Is Notre Dame Stadium a better model for what Michigan should aspire to be?
Well, Notre Dame is what Michigan has been until 3 years ago. I mean, no ads. And even though Michigan does not include paid ads in the stadium itself, they're the closest you can get with these endless ads for holding your corporate retreat in the big house starting at $9,000, or your wedding, Michael, on the Michael Patrick, sorry. Patrick Michael? Jeez, my brain, I got 5 hours sleep, Michael, sorry. Although you guys get less, I won't complain to you guys.
I did get less, but
yeah,
that's
exactly.
okay.
You guys do that every day. I'm a piker, man.
No.
But yeah, the Michigan fan base is obviously unhappy with this right now. If all the ads, the corporate retreats, the wedding on the 50-yard line for $6,000 starting. These ads start to irritate. Michigan was Notre Dame until 3 or 4 years ago. And people say, well, it's a modern world and so on. The whole point of going to college football in some ways is to leave at least part of the modern world. It is not the Super Bowl. It is not Beyonce. It is not whiz-bang pyrotechnics and fireworks and whatnot. It is a shared, authentic, simple experience that your grandfather would understand, that your dad understands, one of the few things that we share with our parents, basically. And to lose that would be a real shame. One of Dave Brandon's quotes is, "We all think of Michigan football games as miniature Super Bowls." No, we don't. We think of them as the opposite, the antidote for all the artificial excess of the Super Bowl. And that seems to have resonated quite loudly with Michigan fans.
Yeah, it'd be like putting cars on Mackinac Island or something like that. Have you heard from David Brandon?
No, and I don't expect to. But cars on Mackinac Island, man, if I had talked to you, Patrick, a day earlier, you'd be in the article. Exactly. I get that cars exist. I have a car. I use it. I'm fond of the interstate highway system. I'm not get off my lawn, et cetera, about the cars.
Yeah.
But there are certain places, a national park, for example, where I don't want to see an Allstate ad.
And you don't want to see it at Michigan Stadium either. John U. Bacon, the book is Fourth and Long, The Fight for the Soul of College Football, even in Michigan Stadium. Thank you, sir.